Nomad at Night, starring the one and only Nomad.
Yo, Nomaniacs, welcome into the show. This is the Nomad at Night, I guess you can call it Nomad at Night / looking at some 2025 prospects / we getting it done over here / welcome in everybody / shout out to Crimson You Dig, first person in the show. Shout out to FFG for rocking with me tonight, man. Hey, good Friday evening to everybody, man. Before we get started with football, let me give a shout out to all the people in that residential neighborhood of Philly just affected by just a few minutes ago or an hour or so ago. There's a deadly plane crash in a residential neighborhood in Philadelphia that just happened. So, I don't know who out here in the Nomaniacs, as you guys are starting to trickle in. I don't know who or who may not be affected by that, but peace, love, and blessings to everybody that may or may not be affected by that, man. This is crazy. That's right on top of Wednesday night show. We were talking about the plane crash with the helicopter over the Potomac. That was crazy. You know what I mean? This is just a couple days after that, so something's going on that's not good. And we ain't going to turn it into a political conversation. I just want to send some peace, love, and some good blessings out and good energy to those people out there in Philly. But, man, FFG, how are you, man? What's going on? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, I'm just happy to be here. It's Friday night. I'm almost off work. So I'm chilling. I'm a little hyped a little bit about what's to come for the Bears. So we're going to find out how this is all put together. I'm not sure if you've seen this, but I don't really trust Twitter and all that kind of stuff. They said it's almost a done deal with Dan Rocher for the offensive line coach.
We were going to get there, but, I heard about that. We got one story to talk about before we get to that. Yes, I heard about that. Other than that, what's on your mind, though, Clay?
Hey, man, I'm trying to get my Super Bowl party ready to go. That's basically what it is, and it's been warming up, so I might throw the grill up and get cracking.
You know what, man? I don't know what we're going to do for the Super Bowl, man. I damn near want to do a show tomorrow for the Senior Bowl. Just go live, just kick it while we're watching the game. But, privately, I really want to watch the stuff by myself and really study that
and see who's
and have to really, really watch it. You know what I mean? So watching and doing live shows is different, man. You know what I mean? I'm starting to get used to it. I know people enjoy. We got the best community in the Bears atmosphere when it comes to all the people that come and join and watch our stuff, man. We got the best community out there. I've seen them all, been a part of them all, know them all. This is the best one out there. And I just love doing shows for them. Going live during games, it took me some getting used to for the most part. We had a whole year doing it. And as probably about mid-season, I kind of found my groove with it. But at first it was really weird watching football games and going and doing a live broadcast. I don't know if anybody I don't know anybody that can really relate to that, but that's hard, man. It's kind of hard because you want to react to certain things, certain ways, and say certain stuff, and you can't do it, because you're live doing a broadcast on YouTube. So it's different, man. So I do appreciate everybody for being here, no matter what we're doing and showing up and showing out for us, man. We can't do this without you guys, man. Love you all.
Hey, trust me, man. I told you, there's certain games I can't be online because I gotta watch it. I can't be objective. So I understand where you're coming from.
Hey, it's hard work, man. So it's a bunch going on right now. So Ryan Poles is down there with Ian Cunningham, and Ian Cunningham, people are starting to say that he may be first in line for the Jaguars job. I don't know how or why. Talk about that for a second. I don't know how in the hell Ian Cunningham is getting GM first in the line for a GM job. What has he done here? You know what I mean? I know he's only assistant GM here, given. Hopefully, I hope he gets the job, and to be honest with you, I'm just never going to be down on a person, moving and advancing in life. But I don't know how or why, what Ian Cunningham has done here to warrant getting a top personnel job with an organization like that. I don't get that, to me, you got to win before you start looking at, getting those kinds of jobs. But I hope he gets it. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good GM, but I don't understand, what, there's administrative things that go on and being a GM and an assistant GM, maybe he just really checks a lot of boxes when it comes to that. And he does, I would imagine they do have a pretty good scout side. They just haven't gotten it right here in Chicago. So that's just my thing about that whole thing. I don't know how you feel about
it. So what I heard today is the major reason why he's getting the look is because Jacksonville having trouble, just like New Orleans having trouble getting people. And they want a guy that got to watch a rebuild, got to be able to do multiple drafts, and actually was the calming voice in the room with Ryan Poles for him not to make mistakes and help out with the contract and the player development kind of sort of here on this side and be able to bring in quality free agents. So I think that's just where he is being looked at as, okay, he has the cachet. Also, I was watching Swifty earlier with Gabe Graybill, and Greg said, hey, it's a done deal. 4 people I know and I trust already said it's a done deal. So I would be kind of mystified if that isn't the case by Monday, that we don't get that 3rd round pick and we actually have a better situation going forward. And yeah, he's going to know the Bears, but he's not going to know what the new next steps that we're going to take. And I think that's probably where Ryan Poles kind of figured things were going to go. But this guy helped me. I got to a better place, and now I can be in control and do my thing.
Well, hopefully he's got the infrastructure set up in a way. What up, Marco? What's going on, Frank? What's going on, Scrolls? What's going on, FFG? The ones I see in the show right now. Hey, thank you guys for being here. Everybody that's not chatting and you want to chat and you got something to say, because I got a boatload for you guys today. I brought in 21 prospects for you guys today. Some of them, it's going to be a good handful of them you guys know about. A great many of them you guys know about. There's going to be a handful of them that you guys may or may not know about, but when I'm done talking about them, you're going to want to go and look. And so make sure you got your either your notepad out, your phone, whatever it is you use to take notes and go check these guys out. I can promise you something. There's a couple of guys in here that I really need you guys to really go and check these tapes out. But we'll get there when we get there. Let me pull up a couple more. Let me pull up this, man, because this happened in the last 24 hours or 48 hours. We hired defensive assistant Bill Johnson. Let me fix the screen up. Defensive assistant Bill Johnson. So Bill Johnson has a long track record. He's like 68 years old or something like that, 65, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't know exactly, but he's got a good track record, man. Trust me, he's got bodies, basically, man. He's been pretty much everywhere he's gone. He's got hardware to prove. He's got rings from pretty much every stop. The ones that are noteworthy, he spent like 8-9 years in New Orleans with, I think, that Greg Williams regime, when I think I would assume that Dennis Allen was on that squad as well, but he was the O-line. He's made his bones basically as a D-line specialist. And so when he was on that nasty Greg Williams staff, when they were tearing up the league and hurting people and putting contracts on people and all that, he was on that staff. So I listened to the guy, and I can tell sage coaching when I see and hear it. So he's been with the Saints, he's been with the Rams, and he's been to LSU, and all 3 stops he's gotten titles. And so if that means anything to anybody, that's important. The fact that he's got, hardware to prove that he's worth his mustard, right? And so one of the things that was funny about this guy, man, I listened to him and I listened to Dennis Allen, and both of them are Southern guys. And so a funny story about these dudes, man. I used to, my freshman year in college, FFG, dude, I was, I'm a Northern boy, man. I'm not used to no Southern, that Southern slang. And, I have a certain thing that comes to my head when I think about Southern white men and their talk. And so when I got to school, I might have said this a time or two, y'all can forgive me, all the people that might have heard this story, but I got to repeat it. When I went to school, man, I had the Southern coaches, man, the Southern white coaches, man, didn't rub off on me well, bro. I just wasn't hearing it, man. It was just like, I got real standoffish when they talked to me. And one time, one of my seniors, he used to call me his freshman, so I got to call him my senior. He was a DB. He was a corner. So he was from Decatur, Georgia. And so he came up to me. He was like, bro, you ain't used to Southern white, man. Like, I said, man, you know where I'm from? It's like, no, I ain't used to no Southern white, man. And so basically you get things in your head when you grow up and you're not used to that kind of environment and people coaching you like that and talking a certain kind of way, that Southern twang that he had going on. I don't know, just something that was in me growing up. It just rubbed me the wrong way. Long story short, man, my first semester there, I didn't get along well with my coaches, man, not at all, especially the Southern ones. And to put it in context, I would tell you that right now, it's any of them, there's several of them that I can call right now to this day that will step in front of a bullet for me. You know what I mean? I can ask them for anything, FFG, anything. And they would literally step in front of a bullet for me. That's how much they think of me. You know what I mean? So everything that I thought, the stuff that gets in your head about people before you meet them, just because of the way somebody talks or where they come from, it just goes to show you, man, you can't judge a book by its cover. These are some lovable men, man, that I was being coached by, and I didn't know it and didn't have enough sense to get that through my head at first. But, long story short, that's what happened with me. But what do you say about Bill Johnson or that story I just told?
I can see the apprehension in your story. Unfortunately, I don't have the same situation. My dad's from South Carolina, so I got family in Tennessee, Kentucky, Alabama. So I've had to basically ingratiate myself with that situation my entire life. And so you could tell the ones that are actual people and the ones that are actual just Philistines, in my opinion, that feel that they're better than you and they treat you a certain way. But when you get to know somebody, when they're actually willing to let you in, that's when a relationship can flourish. And when it does flourish, and when you can trust them and they can trust you, there's never a problem. Welcome to the chat, Derek. I think this guy, he retired, and they brought him back for like the XFL.
Oh, well, before you go forward, let me be specific about it, because I wanted to make sure, and this is per YouTube Streets, and I think Brad Biggs was the person that reported on this. So doesn't sound like he's getting the O-line, the D-line job, not the D-line. Is it? Yeah, the D-line job. D-line. He's gonna probably come in as some kind of senior assistant, some kind of senior analyst, but it doesn't sound like he's getting the D-line job in specifics. And that goes to the conversation you started to have about Dan Rochar. You know what I mean? That in the YouTube Streets, this sounds like it's almost a done deal.
Right. Well, in what I'm looking at for this guy's greatness, everywhere he's been as a D-line coach, the defensive line, the drafting, the production has been there, and they've been well coached from college to the pros. Even he won a championship even in with the Roughnecks or whatever in the XFL or the USFL or whatever they want to call it now, the secondary league. So this guy has a resume that's stronger than anybody else that's probably out there as far as winning is concerned, and probably the way that he goes about his business as far as constructing quality over quantity. And I think that's more important for us, is the quality that he produces year after year, and what he has in his stable is a bunch of horses. They just go out there and wreck shop. It's like Clydesdales. You know what I mean? He ain't got a bunch of little ponies. He ain't got no Mustangs.
Well,
he put out Clydesdales, and they out there, like them football commercials, they out there battling. And they put in work. And that's what this guy does, is he puts in work every single day. And if he's basically a defensive assistant in this regime, then he can actually coach up a defensive line coach on what to look for. That's basically what we had in last year or the year before, when he came in and he was doing the scouting, I believe that's the role he's going to take going forward. So I would love to have a senior executive basically don't have to be on the field, don't got to be, he's like, hey, here's what I see, here's how to implement it, here's what these guys need to work on. You go take care of that.
One thing I can tell you for sure, because we had those guys around when I was in college, those old wily guys that really know what they know what they see when they see it. You know what I mean? And in a way of speaking, it's like certain subtleties in football, especially, on a defense, which is what I played when I was in college, this particular defense. It was sometimes, little things like, teaching a guy to watch, an offensive lineman, how low he sinks his fingers into the dirt. Is his body leaning one way toward the other? Is his head turned one way or the other? Do you see any subtle indications that might give you? Does he, when there's a left tackle you got in front of you? If the left tackle gets in front of you, now this is just me listening to these guys talk when I was in school. If the left tackle gets in front of you and he's in that cockeyed stance and he puts both hands on his pads, he is probably literally getting ready to run block on you. If he's got his arms crossed when he's in his stance and he's getting ready to get in a kickback. Little things like that I heard coaches talking about. And so sage veteran coaches like this are able to point those things out for young guys who really need to learn the tricks of the trade. Little things like that, simple stuff, and it sounds simple, FFG, but I'm talking about you see a lineman barely put his fingers down into the dirt. What does that tell you? To most people, that's going to tell you he's trying to get up quick. That's probably not a rundown. But if he sinks those fingers down in the grass a little deeper, he's got his feet and his hands down. He's getting ready to come off that ball, right?
Yep, it's the white knuckle rule. Basically, it's little small stuff. If you can see the knuckles pressed down, that means he getting ready to fire off. If you see the knuckles up, he getting ready to back up. It's just simple things that you can learn. And that's where the NFL is about, learning tendencies in the trenches to make people better, to understand what you're going against on every rep, every down, because that is where it's won in the trenches, understanding tendencies of the player across from you and how to beat them. Big up Jay Grizz in the house. So, he's going to be able to teach that. And I think that is the most important part. And he's going to be able to work with Dennis Allen seamlessly because they already been together. So that's just a connection. I think the connections that they're creating in the coaching staff is going to be huge.
Yeah.
We're going to find out, though.
Well, I'm gonna get started because I know what people came here to watch, and I'm not gonna hold them. I'm not gonna hold them whatsoever. FFG, if I could just get you just to be silent, Bob, for a little while I rattle off some of these names, man. I don't need to take you down off the screen, do I? Hopefully.
No, you don't have to. You don't want to talk about the O-line situation?
What O-line situation?
As far as the Rocher, because I was really hoping for Randolph for the Notre Dame, but it looks like it's going to be a done deal according to sources, which, that's given whatever credence you want. But so if that's our new O-line coach, what do you think of that? As far as now the development and what's going to be the free agency and the draft process going forward.
Like I told kids, we've been talking about this for about a week now. I always felt like that they should probably go to the college ranks and look for some guys there. Because I think the retreads in the NFL, I think people keep hiring and firing these guys. Some of them, the really good ones still have jobs right now. I'm not saying that there aren't good ones that are out and free agents right now. A lot of them are at home retired. You know what I mean? Then you got that. And so I just don't understand the trepidation of going out and getting into the college ranks and bringing some of these young, talented coaches into the league and kind of replenishing the league with young talent at these position coach jobs. And sure enough, right after we said it came out that they were trying to interview Ohio State's offensive line coach. And then right after that, I heard about Notre Dame's coach. And then after that, I think might have heard Northwestern or something. I can't remember, but I know it's been at least 3 names that I've heard about. And it's a light conversation for me. But anything else you want to speak to, I just want them to get a good guy that can come in and relate to these guys and really develop talent. That's all I care about.
No, I think the key is that you bring in somebody who's been developing the younger talent from day one. Not the guys have already been here, that you want to go a certain way, that the coordinator changes, the offensive changes, all those different things that have happened on a team. But I would like the guy that continually get, new prospects, train them up, get them ready, get them disciplined, get them set on attacking and knowing their craft and teaching them all the little things that they can learn to be successful.
All right.
I think that is where it's going to benefit us the most.
All right. How about this, man? Let's get into some of these prospects. That's enough of this. Let me get this off the screen right quick. Change this up. Just hold it down for a minute, FFG, while I pull up some of these guys. I'm gonna come in with the talk of the day right now. If you watch Chat Sports and what's his name? I can't forget his name. And was it Harrison Graham? So apparently down at the Senior Bowl, they've had their first reported conversation with. Well, let me start with this. Let me take this off the screen and remind people where we're thinking and why we're thinking what we're thinking. Let me pull this up right now to remind people. So remember, Dennis Allen has a type as far as edge rushers go in his defense. His edge rushers, I would just say, his defensive tackles. But the funny thing about Dennis Allen's defense, the more and more you watch it, it's almost like you're watching the same guy. It's like every last one of those guys on that line are the same guy. That's just how it looks because they just all blend because they're the same kinds of body types. You might have one, really big guy, 320-pounder, but other than that, everybody else is pretty much the same guy. He would play with 2-3 techs at a time. You know what I mean? So you can see his type. Of course, Cam Jordan, the most popular one, is 6'4", 287. Carl Granderson, the other really good pass rusher on that team, is 6'5", 264. Of course, Chase Young, they just brought him in this past season, 6'5", 265. Remember that. They're looking for length. They're looking for strength. They're looking for power. The really, really trick baggy edge rushers, the speed rushers type guys that, you typically find in your 3-4 defense, so far has not been attractive to Dennis Allen. And so far, Dennis Allen's defensive scheme works. I like the concepts. Big guys that can be multiple, versatile. They can go from inside to outside. And so a bunch of these guys I'm going to show you tonight fit that role perfectly. I mean, perfectly. There's no need in me bringing guys to the forefront for you guys to look at and go check out that ain't going to fit just because I'm excited about them and I know you are excited about them. I'm just going to go bring up the guys that I know for a fact that these guys are going to really covet in this draft. And so just remember the type as I bring up some of these names. So we'll go back to what we had up on the screen before. Prince Umamlielen. 6'4", 255-pound senior. Extremely long, as you can see. Arms, extremely long arms, huge hands. More powerful than twitchy. Remember I said that. More powerful than twitchy. Sets the edge very well. One of the common traits that you will find in every edge rusher that comes from the Saints defense has all these traits. They're long. You usually have big, powerful hands, more powerful than twitchy, and sets the edge well. This is not a guy, Umamlielen, that I see as a guy that would really be one of those guys that I think can flex inside and outside. And so if I were a betting person, I know that Ryan Poles probably likes him and he likes his traits. He's got some really good traits. He's not a toolsy pass rusher. Just to be clear with you guys, he wins on power and he's got a little bit of twitch and can get around you. That's one of the good things about him. For a guy his size, you don't expect him to be able to just run around guys. It's sometimes as easy as he does. But more times than not, he's going to win with power, and he's got to set the edge. Just the way they played down there in Mississippi. And so he's one guy, Princely Umamielen. Check him out in case you haven't. Let me get to another guy right quick. It's another Mississippi guy. You guys got to remember, I made these cards some time ago. You know what I mean? And I know people are looking at the Senior Bowl, and looking at that list there, you know, and kind of taking their information from there. But I made these cards a long time ago. And here's the other guy at Mississippi, Jared Ivey, 6'6", 285 senior. Huge guy. That he's one of those guys you can definitely flex from inside to out with no problem. At 6'6", 285, you better be able to give me some interior reps. And so he can do that for you. He's very long though, but that's a common trait of Dennis Allen type guys. You know, he's powerful edge. 4-3 coordinators will salivate at his position versatility. That's the best thing going for him. He's not a fleet-footed edge rusher. And you don't have to be in Dennis Allen's defense. You just don't have to be. All you need to be is powerful, crush that edge, like the other edge is coming from the other side, crush it down, and let the interior guys work. If you get to the quarterback, great. But it's all about speed and power. Get timely. You know, get there in a timely manner. Be powerful. And so he's going to be one of those guys that they're going to salivate over. I'm going to take a pause, FFG, and talk to you real quick. See if you have any thoughts about anybody I pulled up on the screen so far.
Ivy, he's a prototypical, what I would consider a combo lineman, where you can put him in your standard package and have him rush the passer, play next to a powerful run stopper. He'll set the edge. And once that pocket moves, he's in the backfield. You can also put him in on whatever you want to call your, turbo blitzes or whatever, or those kind of plays where you have nothing but pass rushers, that can flex inside. And now we coming. You might have a nickel safety or whatever coming with them, or a linebacker or two, to put pressure on where the ball's coming out early or it's going, y'all going down. And it's just, he is probably going to run a version of what the 46 used to be, but now with versatile players, it's going to be more devastating.
Did you say 46?
I said a version.
No,
I didn't say you're going to run a 46. I say you're going to run a version with the way he can be able to facilitate all the strengths that he's going to be able to have using versatile players.
Ain't going to be no 46. Nah. They don't got the 46 kind of pieces. But listen, man, one thing I want to point out, and bear with me for a second. By the way, I'm going to try to remember my guy Petty Murphy. I don't know if he's watching the show, but he sent me a mock draft. And hopefully, if I don't forget, I'm going to put his mock draft up for everybody to see it, and everybody can comment. And everybody who's into the show, make sure you hit the like button, please. We're asking, not telling. We're asking. And anybody that wants to come in and talk about some of these players I'm about to put on the board, all you got to do is hit the subscribe button and come on in and chat. We welcome you. But let me hit another guy. Let me talk about some of this, man, because here's another thing I should point out. Watching Dennis Allen film, this is another thing that sticks out to me. So Dennis Allen also has a type when it comes to linebackers. The two main linebackers that he plays with have similar traits. Demario Davis, 6'2", 248 pounds. Pete Warner, also 6'2", 242 pounds. Not that big of a difference at all. And as you could see, I threw in one of my favorite players to watch the last few years in the draft that for whatever reason in zone concepts, Noah Sewell just didn't fit. So there's a reason why I snuck him onto here. And so, the film that I've watched and enjoyed of Noah Sewell's a downhill thumping type of running back. And this is what Dennis Allen wants his linebackers to be. Downhill, the first step forward, not the first step back. That's traditional zone type of linebackers. First step is backwards. In this defense that he's going to run, very, very aggressive. Very, very aggressive. And his first step should be forward. And so mainly in the defense that Noah Sewell will be playing in, that these two guys, Demario Davis and Pete Warner, execute very well. And he's played with these two guys for a long time. They play downhill, and their main job, they may have to get on a tight end. They may have to get on a running back, but their main job is to spy the ball carrier, period, and get downhill. And so the kind of play that I know Dennis Allen wants out of his linebackers, I know for a fact that Dennis Allen is looking at the film of the Chicago Bears, whether it be the starters or some of the guys that are backups like Noah Sewell, and he's looking at Noah Sewell like, you know what the hell? How come this guy? And then you look at the concept, and then you understand why Noah Sewell's not really seen the field since he's been here. I know the injuries kind of piled up on him, but at the same time, I think Dennis Allen's eyes have to be lit up when he sees this guy's film, his college film. It's got to be lit up because he plays exactly like the two guys above him, downhill and thumps and tackles. That's what they're going to be looking for. And so some of the linebackers I'm about to show you, I got a couple, 2 or 3 in here I wanted to put on display for you guys. I just wanted to point that out to you, that Dennis Allen has a type when it comes to linebackers. And a couple of linebackers that we have in store are going to fit this archetype. But check this out. Take them down and put up a linebacker right quick. One of the more well-known names is Jahad Campbell. I don't know that everybody knows who Jahad Campbell is, but straight up thoroughbred for a linebacker, man. He's everything you want. He's 6'3", 244 pounds. He's only a sophomore. He's very young, very young. But sideline to sideline, he's a general. Jahad Campbell is a general out there. I mean, he's everything you want. Sideline to sideline, downhill, he can actually give you some versatility as an edge rusher from time to time. This dude is a very, very valuable player, and he's young, fast, and a sure tackler. Those are the kinds of guys that Dennis Allen really, really likes. And so, I won't bring up guys that I don't think fit this scheme just because I like that player. I'm only going to bring to you guys football players that I think really fit what Dennis Allen is looking for. So Jahad Campbell is definitely one of those guys. Check him out if you haven't. Let me get into the chat right quick. Pull this down. Get up a couple of comments. See what people are saying. MC Fact. No, ain't gonna be no 46. Yeah, we'll get we might get a mock draft in Sunday, Derek. Real talk. We might do that again Sunday. We'll see. I can't promise you that, but we'll see. We'll see. Thank you, FFG. Everybody hit the like button. All right, here we go. Let's get another guy up because we said linebackers. Let's get to another linebacker. Here's the name you probably didn't know about or barely heard about. He isn't quite as big as some of the other linebackers that I have, but this guy is going to certainly turn your head, and you're going to go back to the tape over and over again watching this kid. Linebacker Carson Schlesinger, 6'2", 235-pound junior. Instincts. I repeat, instincts and football IQ is off the charts. You need that as a linebacker. You need guys that can really be instinctual and just know what to do. Some of the stuff you can't coach. You know, it's like my coach used to tell me all the time, you know, you're going to do something wrong, do it fast. You know, if you're going to get it wrong fast. And, you know, that kind of almost eliminates the problem that you just made, but do it fast. You know, err on the side of being fast about it. This guy makes very, very minimal mistakes. His football IQ and instincts are off the chart. You guys have got to go and watch this guy play. And I guarantee you, he'll come away as one of the top linebackers you looked at. I know you guys are doing a whole bunch of film watching just like I am. And if you haven't seen this kid, Carson Schlesinger, he's going to be a treat for you all. I mean, just a short tackler, and he plays great in space, man. So it's like you can't find it's certain guys, man. You watch guys play football, and you just, you know, I'm not one of those natural pessimistic guys that always feel like I need to find something wrong with a football player. No, I don't. I can't find a whole lot of flaws in his game. Carson Schlesinger is just straight rock solid. As a linebacker, he's not slow. He's not extremely fast either, but football speed is A1. Who knows what he might run in a 40? Who cares what he runs in a 40? I know what I see on that field when it comes game time. Carson Schwarzenegger is a dog. Make sure you go and check this cat out, man. He's going to be one of those guys that you're going to not stop thinking about all the way through the draft, and you're going to be looking to see if we can get him. But man, oh man, great linebacker, man. Great linebacker. Let me pull this down. What's going on, Patty? I ain't seen you in a while. What's going on? Derek Guy says he thinks Schwarzenegger is the best linebacker in the draft. He's up there. He's up there, Derek. I'm just telling you straight up, he's up there. In my opinion, man, he's up there. I got some other guys, but we'll see. We'll see. MC Fact says the Bears are not linebackers are not dominant. I would just say, under the circumstances that they were playing under, I think we'll see a different linebacker group under Dennis Allen. Let's just say that. Because when you're playing in the zone, your natural first step is backwards. You're not playing a whole lot of aggressive football because you're in cloud concepts, right? That's just the way it is. You gotta play the field. You're playing grass, not a player. They're going to be tacked up playing a whole lot of man-to-man in this defense, MC Fact. And so you're going to see a whole lot more aggressiveness than you've seen thus far out of all of them. I don't care who it is.
Hey, Nomad. One thing I can.
Hold on for a second. Go Blue. Demario Davis is 36 years old. I would love to get him here, and I ain't seen no layoff in his game. But, man, Demario Davis, I just can't see it happening. But real quick, go ahead, man.
Oh, no, what I'm would like to point out is what we haven't utilized at all in this defense, we haven't been aggressive. So what you're going to see is a lot of man. You're going to see a lot of linebackers playing downhill and then taking up the space that we've been giving away, which is going to make it harder for all these running backs, tight ends, these little short routes to stay open because somebody's going to be on their behind right away, which is going to give the defensive line more time to get to the quarterback, which is going to benefit the corners and safeties that are protecting downfield.
That's the difference between playing cloud coverage and tacking up and playing man-to-man and being aggressive. That's just that simple. That's the big difference everybody's going to see right away is you'll see guys playing more downhill and more fast than guys playing back. And, you won't have Jalen Johnson won't be looking down at the quarterback. He'll be tacked up chasing a guy man-to-man down the field, and he'll leave it to the linebackers and the D-line to do the work. So he's going to be man-to-man. So you're going to get, Jalen Johnson's whatever his interceptions are going to go down, all that kind of stuff. But those are misdemeanor stats to me. But let me get to the next guy because this guy right here, I know a lot of you guys probably know him by now, but holy crap, this cat right here definitely fits the bill. Linebacker Danny Stutzman out of Oklahoma, 6'4", 241 pound senior. I thought he was going to come out last year. He probably should have. He's a real throwback. I mean, just great football instincts. I mean, the speed, sideline to sideline speed. He gets up the north-south speed is one thing. He can go downhill in a blip. But left to right, going horizontal, this cat is special that way. And taking angles is special that way. It's a time or two watching the film that you can see him not take the proper angle and be a little too speedy and just totally overrun a play and just whiff. But most of the time, this cat really takes really good angles. And so I know that's a coaching thing. And so when he gets in here, they'll get him dialed in. If he comes in here, they'll get him dialed in and make sure that he's breaking down when he gets to the ball. You know what I mean? That's mainly that's your average linebacker's problem is just not overrunning a play and breaking down and getting to the ball and being a sure tackler. I wouldn't say he's a sure tackler, but he's getting really, really close, man. The difference between him last year and this season here is he's more of a sure tackler than he was the year before because that was the big ding on Danny Stutzman. But straight up stud linebacker right here. You guys have got to go check him out. Danny Stutzman will not let you down. Let me see what else here. Get to a couple of comments as best I can. Yeah, hey, Derek guy, I got you on safeties, man. I don't think we got in tonight, but I got you on safeties. He said we need a safety, fam. Is he already on the team? I really like the safety out of South Carolina. He's talking about Eamon Worry. He said he's the best safety prospect since Ed Reed when he played for Miami. It's hard for me to argue with that, bro. It's hard for me to argue. He's one of two or three safeties that I think are elite, maybe four. There's another guy I want to talk about on another show, but I'll save him for another show. But let me get Stutzman off the screen. All right, let me talk about some offense, man. I don't know if Minister Charles is in here, but I know this, man. Running back Ollie Gordon out of Oklahoma State. I didn't like him at first. I really didn't, man, until I really, really studied him and studied. Ollie Gordon is 6'2", 225-pound junior. Great patience and vision. And so while watching this guy, I was just like, who does this guy remind me of, man? He reminds me of somebody, but he's got that long stride like Eric Dickerson, runs upright. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like he's fast, but next thing you know, he's running by you. That kind of reminds me of watching Eric Dickerson film. It's like, this guy just constantly just galloping past cats. That's kind of what Ollie Gordon is, man. He's a big thoroughbred of a running back, and he's got the kind of body to put on another 5 to 10 pounds with ease. So you can quickly be looking at a 235-pound back real quick with some decent speed. And so Ollie Gordon is one of those guys that, you know, he's not that. Everybody's looking for that home run hitter guy that, you know, as soon as you have him the ball and he's off into the secondary and then boom, it's a track meet. He's not that guy. But when he gets a lead on somebody, people ain't running him down. And he's got everything you need. I mean, a really, really instinctual runner, man. He really sets up his blocks well and hits the crease on time, man. He's one of those guys that I think you all would love to watch on film, man. He's pretty good. Check out Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State.
His power is also impressive.
Hold on. What'd you say, Don?
No, I said his power is also impressive. Once he presses the hole, he ain't getting taken down right away. He's running through tackles and falling forward.
All right, let me get the next guy up. This is one of those late round guys. If let's just say the Bears didn't get a running back in the first 2, maybe 3 rounds, and they're getting a little bit later in the draft when the fans are getting a little antsy. It's like, man, we're going to get a whack running back now. We didn't get, you know, if we don't get Genty or Cam Scatterbull or somebody like that, people are going to go nuts. But they got to understand that this running back class is deeper than you think. And here's one of those little examples of that. Montrell Johnson, 5'11", 216-pound senior out of Florida. Great contact balance and extremely physical. You look at his size right now, and this is just the beginning of what Montrell Johnson is going to be, because his superpower is from the waist down. His superpower is truly from the waist down. If you haven't checked out Montrell Johnson, check out this guy and just watch his lower body. And he's got long speed too. You know, he's got long speed. This guy, you can hit this guy, and he's one of those Florida boys that just difficult to tackle. He in a year or so, I'm not going to say he can't come in and give you great minutes as a rookie. I think he can. But in a couple of years, his body is going to get even stronger than it is. So as physically imposing as he looks now, wait until he packs on grown man weight and he's about 225, 230 pounds and not losing that speed. I'm telling you, this is a true to life sleeper, you guys. You haven't checked out Montrell Johnson at Florida, I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. I would love to get our hands on this guy at, 4th or 5th round, somewhere in there. I'll be okay if they waited that long, got a running back, and it end up being him, because I see nothing but sky-high ass potential with him. Really, really good running back. Let me get to a couple of comments. Let me see here.
Your guy wants to know, break tackles.
Crimson knows about him. Oh, yeah. Does he break tackles? Yes. That's why I mentioned, the contact balance was the first thing I put up there. Let me show you again. Where's he at? Where you go, man? That's the first thing that I mentioned. He's got great contact balance. And to be able to know if a guy has great contact balance, he needs to be able to break tackles. And he's one of the better backs in this draft at that, as a matter of fact. It's one of his strong points. Yes, sir. All right, let's get to another guy.
Hey, man, he reminds me of Montgomery, the way he plays.
Yeah. Oh, he's got way better long speed.
Well, no, as far as the way he gets to the hole, is shifty enough to get away from tackles and his contact balance. That's who he reminds me of, David Montgomery.
A little bit. Let's get to another running back. I know people have been talking about this guy, and he's not necessarily a sleeper at this point, but he was about a year ago. And that's Omarion Hampton. So Omarion Hampton is 6 foot, 220-pound junior. He's a thoroughbred. He's basically your prototype running back. If a coach had to draw up and design a prototypical running back, he probably looked like Omarion Hampton. He is straight built for the work, straight built up for the work. And he's 220 pounds already. And he's got great speed, great power, great contact balance, soft hands. He's a complete back. I would just say he's not as laterally quick as some of the better backs you've seen over the years, like going from left to right, that instant juke. He's not as good there. And to me, if there was a shortcoming as far as Omarion Hampton goes, it would be that. But I think he's going to be a thoroughbred of a running back when it comes to this next level. And whoever gets their hands on him, it's got a thoroughbred, and they're going to have him for a long time. He's physically built for the work. He's not that, his power it's not that he's out there looking for all the contact. And I think that's smart. You don't have to be trying to run everybody over to be a really good physical running back. You don't duck the smoke, but you don't run looking for it if you want to take care of your body, man. I think he's a complete back. I'm going to say he's in the top 5 to 7 of the backs that I've seen in this draft. I would say Omarion Hampton is the real deal. Get him on. Let's get to another one. Since we're talking about running backs, let me get to another one. This guy right here, I got to tell you a story about. People have been like, hey, man, when are you going to put him up there, man? You don't know about this guy? Let me pull him up in just 1 second. Let me get him. Hold on. Here we go. And so I got a quick story to tell you all about this. At first, I was not in love with Devin Neal. So Devin Neal, 5'11", 215-pound senior. Shifty. Underline that word, shifty, because we're going to come back to that. Shifty with good vision, decent speed, and power. Very, very nice hands. He's a natural receiver. He's got, to me, he's got everything you need but long speed. He doesn't have long speed whatsoever. He's going to get run down on a regular basis. He's going to bust out for that 25, 30, 40-yard run, and he's going to get run down. You ain't going to see no whole bunch of 80, 70, 80-yard gallops by no Devin Neal. He's not going to do that. But I want to challenge you guys to go look at this. Anybody that watches old NFL film, like classic NFL film, is going to watch this and go to it. As soon as I tell you guys this, y'all going to get off this show later on and y'all going to go looking at this. And I'm guaranteeing you, there's this guy that came from Florida years and years ago, man. He was not fast, wasn't no hell of a incredible athlete, wasn't very athletic at all. But he broke every single damn record down in Florida football history. Broke every last record. And he ended up breaking all the records here in the NFL. His name is Emmitt Smith. That's what you're looking at right here. Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith. Now, granted, the caveat is Emmitt Smith had a great offensive line. Yes, no doubt about it. But what made Emmitt Smith great is what he did in the hole. It's the subtle instincts. Like you can learn how to read and be patient, which Devin Neal is. Learn how to set up your blocks and be patient. This is what he has in spades. Emmitt Smith had this in spades as well. Being patient, setting up your blocks, and then boom, you accelerate through it. But the instinctual thing is something that you naturally got to have to you. And that's what he does to you in the hole. He will absolutely make you look stupid in the hole. Absolutely stupid. Just a subtle shift, a subtle juke left or right, and leave you just. I mean, you will see that over and over and over and over again on this kid's film. And quickly, I'm starting to feel like Devin Neal is probably the most complete running back in this draft. And I think he's going to live in the end zone because of his instincts. This guy's got a nose for the goal line. When you get in the red zone, this guy he is just so subtle in the hole. I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to just keep watching Emmitt Smith film and going back and watching Devin Neal film. You're going to be like, damn, Nomad, you called that. Damn right I did. That's all I see when I watch this kid play football. And so if you have not seen Devin Neal, or if you've been watching Devin Neal and you haven't made the comparison, pull up some Emmitt Smith film, and you'll see exactly what I mean by his subtle ability in the hole when he's got a player in front of him. He's going to leave that guy. He's going to make him look stupid. And so that's what made Emmitt Smith great. This guy is going to live in the end zone in the NFL. Mark my words. Whoever gets him, he is going to be he's going to live in the paint for the most part. But Devin Neal, check him out and go check out some Emmitt Smith film while you're doing it, man. I'm telling you, I think he might be the most complete back in the draft. Let me look at some comments. Yes, Emmitt did have a great O-line. Cornelius, you talking about Devin Neal, bro? You know what, man? I'm telling you, man, this cat's gonna live in the end zone. I'm guaranteeing you that. Watch when you guys go watch that Emmitt Smith film. You're gonna see the same shit you're looking at with Devin Neal. I'm just trying to get up a couple comments. Yeah, I seen that game that he did destroy Colorado. It was that little shiftiness. Yeah, I hear you, FFG. I wish we did have a historic line like that as well. Giddings is coming, Go Blue. Giddings is coming. I'm gonna bring him up in the next week or so. AC Adams said Neal did us dirty when we played U of I. I'm telling y'all right now, man, this cat, I'm telling you, Devin Neal is going to live. He's going to live in the end zone. That subtle ability. Remember what I'm telling you. That subtle ability in the hole to shift instant left or right and just leave somebody. I mean, he's breaking ankles out there and leaving and making people look stupid. And guys like that have natural noses for the end zone. Goal line back 110%. I'm telling you, whoever gets him is going to be special in the backfield because of him. All right, let's get to another guy. I think we got the running backs. I think we got the running backs covered. What'd you say?
I said when he gets some more power, when he gets stronger going to the NFL and being in the locker rooms and getting the real regiment, he will be a beast.
He don't lack for power. But he's going to get stronger naturally. All right, here we go. Let me get back to some defense, man. Let me get back to some defense. And remember, what's the body type for Dennis Allen? You know, you got your 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guys, about 265 and up, right? The guys that can be position versatile. And if this guy don't look like position versatile, I ain't never seen one. Here's the thing about Shamar Stewart. I think Shamar Stewart is going to end up playing more 3-tech reps or interior defensive line reps than he does edge reps in the NFL. Why? It's because I don't see, looking at his traits and his body and his athleticism, I don't think he's going to get that much better as a pass rusher. He might get a tool or two and get a little bit better, but as a pass rusher, let's just say he went to a 3-4 defense. I don't think he's going to be that effective as a pass rusher. In a 4-3 defense, when he can put his fingers in the dirt and move inside and outside at any given time and kind of switch up which reps he receives, I think he's got more value as a defensive tackle than I think he does an edge rusher. I know everybody's projecting him as an edge rusher, but I just think this kid, I think some coaches are gonna see what I see on film, and they don't see a big upside as far as his pass rushing ability, and they're gonna be like, you know what? Why even? He's a freak athlete, and he's strong as an ox. Look at him. Why mess with that? Let him line up over the tackle and guard, and let him do some 3-tech work. To me, that's what he screams to me. He's already got the size. You know what I mean? So, I think he's got limited edge rush capability. but he's so big and strong. He would be a straight natural fit in what Dennis Allen does, just by his natural characteristics. 6'6", 290-pound junior. Come on. He's a natural fit in this defense. Natural fit. But I think he's less edge rusher and more defensive tackle. I think that's where his best performing is going to be on the inside. You watch and see. But let me get to a couple of comments. He said, "What do I think about Ian Wheeler? I think Ian Wheeler. I don't know. I'd love to see how his recovery is coming. I'd like for him to put some video out there, and so people can kind of take him and see what kind of athleticism he's gotten his body back to in this little bit of time. I don't know what to think about Ian Wheeler. Really, as Cornelius says, he likes Shamar Stewart, but he's not getting out of the first round. I don't think so either, but I just don't think people are going to draft him as an edge rusher. I think coaches are going to want to put him on the inside, to be honest with you, Cornelius. All right, let me get to another guy. I got a lot of defense, man, we need to get to. This guy right here. I'm an FSU guy, just so you guys know. So he doesn't fit all the measurements, so he doesn't fit the weight requirement so far. But he's definitely, if you're looking at projecting what this guy's going to be in a couple, 2 or 3 years, he's definitely in the conversation. Edge Patrick Payton, 6'5", 250-pound junior out of Florida State. Look at that wingspan on him. And his twitch is outstanding. That's the most amazing thing about Patrick Payton, is his twitch and how fast he gets off the ball. So you typically don't align, twitch, fast, getting off the ball with the 6'5" guy, 250 pounds. You usually don't, those two things aren't associated. It's usually a shorter guy, 6'2", 6'3", 245, 200, those kinds of guys. Not these longer guys, but he is definitely twitchy. Definitely twitchy. And so he's turning some heads down there at Mobile as well. Not Mobile, but the other game I think he's at, because he's a junior. But yeah, Patrick Payton he's an interesting prospect. I think later, probably mid-round to talking about 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round, Patrick Payton's still sitting there. We'd be lucky to get him, because I think he's got a tremendous upside. Wait until you watch him on film if you haven't. See some comments there.
I really think that Florida State has a type 2.
Hold on. We're gonna let you talk. We're gonna let you talk. I just need to rattle through these, man, so we don't make the show too crazy long. Y'all want some offense? Let me give you some offense, because I did say something about his teammate this week or last week when we did the show. No, actually, that was just Wednesday when we did some extra sauce. His teammate Jack Besh is getting a lot of attention because he's down there tearing it up at the Senior Bowl. But I'm telling you right now, this cat right here, Savion Williams, 6'5", 226-pound senior. When I say nuclear weapon, I'm not exaggerating. Shame on you if you haven't seen any Savion Williams film. He's probably the most explosive player in the draft. I would say him. I would say Jalen Milroe, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. You pick who you want to be number 1, but I am telling you right now, this dude here, Savion Williams, is an absolute game changer. He is an absolute game changer. They do anything with him. And normally when you see what I'm about to describe to you is what they do with him. They'll line him up and play running back with him. They'll play some wildcat quarterback with him. They do almost anything with Savion Williams. And it's not because he doesn't have, natural receiver hands. Yes, he does. Catches with his hands easily. Great hands. But he's that explosive that his offensive coordinator is probably up at nights, all night long, thinking about ways he can figure out how to get this cat to touch the ball. If you have not seen Savion Williams play, are you kidding me? This dude changes the outcomes of games with one touch. Every time he touches the ball, it's a chance it goes house. Period. You can put him on as a receiver. You can line him up as a running back, quarterback, because he did play some quarterback, in high school. You can put him back at kick return. He's a bomb waiting to explode. And if we're going to draft a receiver, we lose Keenan Allen and we just get younger, this is the guy I hope we go and get. He is absolutely the most explosive guy in the draft. Period. You haven't seen Savion Williams. I don't know what the hell y'all doing, but go check this cat out. Check this cat out and tell me, come back and let me know in the comment section and say, Nomad, you don't know what you're talking about. I dare one of y'all to come do that. That's how sure I am about this cat right here. Let me see what people saying in the chat. Anybody saying anything? I'm telling you, Crimson, I'm not kidding you, bro. I am not kidding you. Y'all got to go watch this cat play. Pull up some highlights right now and see what I'm talking about. I don't care what y'all do, but just make sure you check him out. Holy shit, he's bad. Let me get to another one. You say, AC said he'll be long gone. Man, if that guy, you talking about getting the best player off the board, yeah, good Lord, man. Whoever passed him up is going to be hurting for certain. All right, let me get to another guy. I'm saving one of my best for last, man, because I got a real treat for y'all. Some of y'all might know this cat, but it's going to be a bunch of y'all that don't know him. But let me get down here. I'm starting to get thin on my list. I'm getting down here. I'm getting here. Hold on.
That's why we got to trade back, Nomad, if we want cats like that.
Well, we'll see. Walter Nolan. Another, like Mississippi has just got that team was so loaded. There was a time during this year when I thought that they were going to win it all because they are that loaded. Jackson was playing good football. Offense was really, really starting to kick it in gear. With this defense, all over that defensive line, they got studs. They got studs in the secondary. But Walter Nolan, and I'm going to tell you, 6'5", 305-pound junior, he's extremely, extremely explosive. Plays with a violent intent, and I mean that 110%. He's not meeting you and greeting you the right way. He's greeting you the wrong way. Absolutely. He don't want you to have a good impression of him after you meet him on that football field. He's not liking nobody out there. He's got a decent first step. The thing I don't like about Walter Nolan is the inconsistency I just kept seeing on film. It was times when he just absolutely uncontrollable and playing with the right technique. And this is, just because I don't like something doesn't mean I don't think he's going to be a great player. I think he can be a great player, but his work ethic, I've seen, like, he looks great down there at the Senior Bowl. He looks great down there, fit, trimmed, and looking really, really good. But during the season, I can see a weight problem being an issue. When he was slow, sluggish, not in shape, and just not the player that I know that he can be if he had some discipline. What I'm telling you all is I think right now, and this is typical of young football players coming out of school. I was just undisciplined as hell. You know what I mean? Like, my coach used to tell me all the time, hey, Deuce, man, dude, you got to stop partying. I'm just like, dude, all I got to do is hear party and beer, and I'm there. As hard as I work on this field and in this facility, I'm going to have me a good time. I don't care what y'all say. And that's what I did. But I would have been a much better player if I was, religious about my regiment. And so that's what I'm trying to allude to with Walter Nolan. I think he can be as good as he wants to be. Be probably one of the best, if not the best, 3-tech in football. That's how much potential he has in him. But I think I smell immaturity and discipline with him. And I'm not trying to scare nobody off of Walter Nolan. It's just something I can just detect as a player, as a former player. I just kind of see something. And when you see that weight fluctuation up and down like that there, it's like, all right, you want to draft him, but, you got to understand what you're dealing with. You're going to have to get this cat to be disciplined like a Shaolin monk. And for him to get out his true greatness, he's going to have to get disciplined. But I think the sky's the limit for Walter Nolan. It's about how good do you want to be, bro. Really, that's what it's about. How good do you want to be? But he's got, talent. I mean, limitless talent, man. It's just about how much of it we're going to get out of him if we bring him here. me get to a couple of comments. Savion. He's talking about Savion. He said he'd like to see more speed out of Savion. I bet you Savion's running faster than a 4.5. When you see that speed on the field, don't look like no damn 4.5 to me. I hear you, Derek. You like big Deion Walker, huh? Deion's another guy I think has got a he just gets up so high for me all the time. He just plays too high. And that they're gonna tear his ass up on the next level if he don't get those pads down. Here's another guy I think is gonna be would be a great fit here. Okay, let me pull him up. Give me a second. Find him. Where you go, buddy? There you go. Out of Auburn. We've been talking about trying to beef up them trenches, y'all. Constantly talking about we need to beef up the trenches. And finding a guy that's, it's one thing to be a big guy that can really take up space. It's another thing to be a really good big guy that can really, really dominate that space. And this is that guy. This is one of those guys. One of the ones I'm really, really high on. 6'6", 55-pound senior Jason Jones from Auburn, really strong against the run. And so he's one of those guys that had the length that you feel like, okay, can I get some edge work out of him in this 4-3 defense that Dennis Allen is running? Can I get some versatility out of him? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe once or twice every 3 or 4 games, you might want to put him on the edge. But, this guy he's got the big, he reminds me of the big D tackle from Kansas City. It's kind of what he reminds me of. Chris Jones is kind of what he reminds me of, but he's just really, really good against the run, long arms and shed blockers so violently. This is one of the treats of the offseason for me, man, watching him on film and knowing that we have the specific need in nose tackle, watching and looking for these guys, watching this dude play. He's like Akeem Hicks. That's probably his best comparison. That's probably a better comparison than, Chris Jones. Akeem Hicks is a lot of what you would see if you pull up some Jason Jones film. You are not going to be disappointed when you start watching this film. I'm telling you, you're going to be reminded of Akeem Hicks. That's probably the best player comparison I can give you. But let me get this down. What up, Jay? What up, Jay? What round do I think I see him landing? Jason Jones? I hate, you know what, Derek? As much as I would love to give you my opinion of that, it's anybody's guess, man. And I don't feel comfortable giving it, man, because so many people, all these fake, experts out here, I got him lined up as a 4th round pick. I got him slated as a such and such pick. And it's like all kinds of arrogance in that to me. Like, who am I? I'm just an ex-football player that really knows football. I don't know who the hell is on somebody's board. And I'm not trying to get after you, Derek. I'm just talking in general about some of these other podcasters and so-called experts out there. It's kind of irritating to me. Like, I have no idea what none of these, after the first 15, 25, 30 guys, I have no idea who's going where and when. It's the biggest crapshoot in the world to me. But, looking at his talent and some of the team needs out there, I could see Jason, I think if I had to guess, somewhere in the mid-rounds. But he's the violence that he plays with against the run is going to be extremely attractive to a whole bunch of teams. Yeah, Hicks is who you're going to be reminded of when you watch Jason Jones, Crimson. I'm telling you. If you like Hicks, you're going to love him. Yep, AC guys like him can go anywhere. Any particular part of the draft. Just depends on what team needs what.
Hey, I'm with JC or Jay Capone Don. There's a bunch of D tackles that we can pick up in any round of this draft to shore up the line and have a quality rotation. So it's not a necessity to be first pick, second pick, whatever we have. It's about getting the picks to be able to have all the options.
All right, let me get another D tackle in here. One of my favorite ones. This, I think the world of this cat right here, and that is T.J. Sanders, defensive tackle / now I'm going to say / because I think he can give you some edge work for sure. Now, you talking about a prototypical Dennis Allen type of defensive lineman. This is it right here. 6'4", 290-pound junior, terrifyingly quick and fast. I mean, it's almost abusive watching guards and tackles trying to block this cat one-on-one because he loves to jump, take the inside jump or the outside jump, just messing with him, man. And once he does, he's out of the reach. The only thing that lineman can do is grab him and hold him because he's that quick off the ball. TJ is a special talent, man. Nightmare to block, one of the best D tackles in the 2025 class. In fact, there's another guy I'm going to be talking about here shortly. He's an edge rusher / D tackle too. But he's one of them ones, man. He is one of those ones. And, he's one of probably about 5 guys that I feel like if the Bears can come out of the draft with one of these 5 guys, I know we're going to be a whole lot better team because of him. He's one of them. There's nothing not to like about TJ Sanders. Versatile as shit. At 6'4", 290, you can definitely put him on the edge, but he is going to get drafted as a D tackle. But again, prototypical Dennis Allen type. Prototypical. The guy that you can play on the inside, play on the outside, and get equal production off of. Guaranteed a perfect fit for Chicago right now. TJ Sanders, check him out if you haven't. Let me get to a couple of comments. Let me see here. Derek he said, fam, I value your opinion. You play football and you actually know what you're talking about, unlike a lot of people. I don't mean to even get on people, to be honest with you, Derek. I ain't trying to bring nobody down or nothing like that. Sometimes it gets a little irritating when you have played the game and you kind of notice stuff. To hear other people, it's just like, I know you're a content creator and everything, but it's kind of cringy to me to be sitting up here telling people where I expect one of these guys to be drafted like I'm some kind of scout or something. I'm not. You know what I mean? I scout from home. I do a pretty good job at it, I think, but I'm not a paid scout and employed by any team, and I'm not going to get online or nowhere else and pretend like I'm some kind of scout. I'm not. I'm just doing this for you all. You know what I mean? I hope you all enjoy it because I put a lot of work into coming up with some of this stuff. And I'm not going to bring up guys because I like them. I'm only going to bring out guys that I really think fit what we're trying to do here. So all I know is what we got going on defense. As far as the offense goes, I have an inkling of an idea of what we're trying to do here. And so I can give you some, prototypes for what I think they might, an offensive lineman, receiver, and a running back. But, I really don't know what they're going to do on offense. So I'm not that sure about it. And I don't mind telling people that. But on defense, I'm 100% rock solid sure about what they're going to do. And so I know exactly what they're looking for. So I feel confident in that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. But let me get to the next one. Jay Capone, the Don says we need about 5 Jalen Carters at this point. You got some dudes out there, man. I'm telling you, some dudes out there you would like better than Jalen Carter. That whole South Carolina defense was crazy. You are right about that. You welcome, Crimson, man. I do this for y'all, man. I just want y'all to know that. And I ain't just sitting here bullshitting y'all. I really work my ass off to make sure I can do content like this. I find home in this. You know what I mean? This is why I'm really good at scouting out some of these players and being able to report to you guys what I'm seeing. And you guys can see it for yourself. That's what I'm really at home at doing. So I'm glad y'all enjoy it, man, because I appreciate y'all being here for us. All right, but here we go. Tyleek Williams. Go Blue says Tyleek Williams should be a nice 5 tech for us. I think he can play nose. I think Tyleek Williams can do anything he wants to do. That's how bad I think that boy is. Like, if I had to pick one D lineman off, and he had to be the first one off, anybody that watched us on the show Sunday, that's the guy I picked was Tyleek Williams. I think you start there. I think he's that tough of an athlete over Kenneth Grant. And I love Kenneth Grant. Well, all right, let me get to a couple more guys. All right, here we go. We're gonna look at a couple of linemen here. Of course, we got the guy on the screen here. Johnny Cornelius. I'm not big into stats, y'all. I tell people this all the time on the show. What I do with a stat, I will wipe my hind parts with the stat sheet. because I really don't care. Doesn't really tell me a whole lot. Tells me a little bit, but not everything that I need to know. And so I just do away with it. Don't even pay attention to numbers when it comes to some of these guys, and believe what your eyes tell you. And if your eyes deceive you, that's a whole other thing. My eyes don't deceive me when I tell you this. Johnny Cornelius, offensive tackle, 6'5", 315 pounds, senior. He reminds me a whole lot of the left tackle in Baltimore, Ronnie Stanley. A whole lot. His body type, everything about him reminds me of Ronnie Stanley, how he mirrors, lockdown pass protector. That's what he does well. And just for the stat nerds out there that like stats, how you like this? 800 reps, 800 plus reps while at Oregon. Think 11 hurries, quarterback hurries, and only one quarterback hit. I said hit, not sack. Repeat that. 800 plus reps, 11 quarterback hurries, and one quarterback hit. What does that tell you? You know, that's a stat that you almost can't ignore, because when you look at the totality in his body of work and what I see on film in the totality of games, you can't just look at highlights all the time when it comes to these, especially when it comes to linemen. You got to see what the body of work looks like in a whole game. Go to the next game and see if you find consistency. See if you find consistency in the third game. Is there something in that guy's football game that you can see as a consistent upside or a consistent flaw? Within 3 games, you should know exactly what you're looking at. You just got to be willing to watch the reps. And I know everybody doesn't have the stomach to do it. My nerdy ass, I love football. I'll do it. Just so I can report to you guys accurately what I'm talking about. Johnny Cornelius is going to be one of the steals of the draft. He's great at pass protection. If you got a pass pro problem amongst your offensive linemen in your room and you need to upgrade that particular skill set, this is the kind of guy you want to take a strong look at. He's really strong at this. Really strong at pass pro. Got some, work to do in the run game, but great lateral agility and just great feet. That's the essence of a great pass protector. He's got to have good lateral agility, great feet, and be able to mirror. So if you got both of those traits going on, you're going to probably be able to mirror pretty good and knowing when to fire your hands. He's got all those 3 traits in spades. And so, I don't care what people say about him. I know what I believe. I believe what I see on film. And I think whoever has a pass pro problem amongst their tackles in their room, this guy is going to be an upgrade to that room. Guaranteed. Let me get to a couple of comments. He definitely looks the part. Derek Guy said it's a deep D-line, interior O-line, and running back draft this year. I think the tackles are better than people think. I think the offensive tackles are better than people think. I don't think people are giving these guys enough credit, because I looked at several. I can probably go 30, 35 deep as far as O tackles go. And I probably will put these guys on the show. I got another one coming here up pretty soon. I think people are starting to talk about him now, but months and months ago, nobody even knew this cat's name, but I'm going to bring him up in just a minute. Look at a couple more comments. Crimson says stats are fun, and they are really good at convincing PFF that bad football can't be good numbers. Hey, they don't really mean nothing, man. But some people that just really, I guess, I think people hear certain things, and the way people express them makes it seem like these guys know what they're talking about per number. Like this it really don't mean nothing, man. Just pull out the tape and don't be lazy. Watch the football. Johnny is going to be a stud on this next level. I guarantee you, MC Fact. It's just about him going to the right team, and anything can happen with any guy getting drafted. He can get drafted into a crummy situation, and anything can happen. But if he's got some decent structure around him, I think he's gonna turn out to be one of the better tackles in this draft. Whether he plays left side or right side, he's a right tackle right now. But who knows with somebody's projecting him to be inside their building. Hey, FFG, if you want to talk for a second to the No Maniacs while I pop out right quick. You muted, bro.
Sorry, I was trying to let you get your creative juices flowing, so my bad.
Just give me a second, man. I'll be right back.
Oh, do your thing. This kid is actually very talented, but I'm not sure if they're going to draft another left tackle this year, just because I'm not sure what they're going to do with Amagaji. Now, if they determine he's going to have to play inside, it's a different story. Right now, though, I think the best positions for us to take advantage of are interior linemen and defensive linemen and a safety and a running back in this draft. I think those are the positions that we're going to be able to upgrade in a hurry. And I believe the Bears are going to trade back. That's just me personally. And they're going to really increase what they get from the draft, because I believe Cunningham is gone. So that's an extra third-round pick we're going to get. So if they can get 6 picks in the top 100, that really can benefit the team. And if they actually sign 2 quality offensive linemen in free agency, which I think they will do, spend the money there, not on defensive line, because the draft is where you want to go. And we have a stud, we already know, that's going to be coaching them up or helping coaching them up. Now we get the offensive line coach that can help coach up the offensive line, which we're not sure exactly who it is, even though Rocher might be the guy. Now we're cooking with Crisco on both sides of the ball. So, and unfortunately, I really can't tell you whether defensive linemen are making more or offensive linemen are making more, but there's 5 offensive line spots. So the money can go around a lot easier with younger prospects. So that may be where the Bears want to head out and try to pick up 2 in like the first 100 picks, and then sprinkling defensive tackle, edge, safety, and then worry about the running back and all that stuff in the later rounds. But if they can actually benefit from getting a lot of draft picks in this draft, and with the coaches that we now have on the team, I think they're going to be able to build a winner a lot sooner than later.
All right. I hear that, man. I heard most of that. Agree with most of it. I do think they need to get a stud tackle. But here's another one I think it's going to surprise a whole lot of people. And I think he's starting to get a little bit of a run now that he's down at the Senior Bowl. But I've been on this guy for quite a while, quite some time. Give me a second while I pull him up. I talk about Marcus Mbo. This, I'm telling you, Marcus Bo is his name, actually, offensive tackle, 6'5", 300-pound junior. And he should be arrested, literally, should be arrested for assault after each game, because what he does with his hands is just straight. He just giving them cats whoopings out there. You want to hurry up and try to rush around me? I'm just going to swat you right across your damn head and back and make you, I'm going to make you blow past me, because I'm going to put my heavy ass hands on you and knock you past me. I'm telling you what he does. I mean, he's about as athletic as I've seen an offensive lineman in this draft. Him and I think Jarrett Wilson, the tackle, the center from Alabama, not Alabama, but Georgia. But Marcus Bo is going to be, he's nasty. He's straight nasty is what he is. And he's going to elevate a room of, I don't know what people are going to, what people are going to do with him. 6'5", 300. I don't know if I want him to play guard. I know he doesn't have hella long arms, but boy, oh boy, is he good at what he does. Technically superior than to his peers. You can tell this cat has put in the work with somebody, whether it's somebody in his family was an offensive lineman. He just got great training. I don't know what it is, because I haven't done the deep dive on his background like I normally would by this point when I'm broadcasting about a player. I normally get that part done, but I didn't get everything I need to get done on Marcus Bo. But I'm not done on him, so I will find out more about him. but he is technically superior than his peers. I can tell you that. I mean, he just watch him play. I mean, he's got 10, 11-year veteran type tactics that he uses right now while he's a junior in college. So I'm telling you, he is working with somebody that is elevating and taking him to another level. Whoever gets this cat has a much more advanced offensive lineman than they can imagine they're getting the minute he walks into that building. He's a play right now, whatever you decide to do. It wouldn't surprise me that people like a team like us decided, you know what, Marcus, man, I think you're versatile enough. I want you to I'm going to give you a shot at playing center in this camp this year. Do you oppose to that? Do you want to give it a shot, or you going to give everything you got? He said, if that's what you need me, I'll play center. I think he can get it done. And he's strong and physical enough to do it. And that nastiness I'm telling you, he's a different level. He's a different level than everything I've seen as far as these linemen go. I mean, he's got something else going on. Some technical superiority that's hard to find with a kid his age. I'm telling you, something special about this guy's about to happen. I just hope he ends up in the right building, particularly here in Chicago. But I'm telling you, Marcus Bowe is a treat to watch on film.
Ant Moss, I'm gonna say second round, but
hold
top
on,
40.
Hold on, man. If you got something you want me to yes, I hear you, Derek Gray. Who you talking to, Ant Moss?
Yeah, he was right behind Derek Guy. Yeah, he said center.
I'm a star.
What you was talking about, so I left that alone.
Yeah, I could definitely see him taking some reps at center for some team. He's got the body type. Definitely got the body type. And Moss, I don't know. I think he can get up out of there in that first round. I think he could. Let me see. Last says, I'd be interested in how your draft evaluations from last year turned out. Everyone has hits and misses. How do you grade yourself, Nomad? I have more hits than I do misses for sure. More hits than I do misses. I just give you one good example of some of my hits. This is some of the stuff that was going on before, I had this channel over here, Laz. When I was over there on a bar room, I remember Aldo asking me particular things. As a matter of fact, we were on Greg Gabriel's show. I was in the chat instead of on the show, and Aldo was putting up my comments, and Greg was responding to him. Greg, and I'm not trying to put Greg down because he's been on the show, and I'm good with Greg, but he mentioned that Gervon Dexter wasn't a fit in Fluce's scheme, and I was just like, I don't believe so, because this is at a time when everybody was talking about, if we don't get Jalen Carter, the end of the world is going to happen, and I think we did pretty good with Gervon Dexter, and so we ended up drafting him, and I told him on that show that Gervon Dexter was probably, him and Keanu Benton was probably 1A and 1B as far as talent, right up under Jalen Carter. And so hit, Keanu Benton and Gervon Dexter. More recently, right after that, I think it was the next year, or was it the same year, that Jahmyr Gibbs came out, although asked me live on the show who I thought was the best running back in the draft. And it's on one of them shows somewhere. We was doing the draft. I think Danny Shimon. I think I was on the show with Danny Shimon. I think we was doing one of those draft shows with Danny Shimon. And Aldo asked me straight out. He was like, who do you think is the best back in the draft? And I told him Jahmyr Gibbs. And he was like, what? Really? I said, yeah, I think he's the best back in the draft. And he was just like, But yeah, so just to give you a quick little example of, some of, I tend not to miss, bro. Just saying. All right, let's get to some more guys. This dude here, right here, is a treat. This dude here is a treat. Armand Membo, 6'3", 314-pound junior from Missouri. Plays heavier than he looks, heavier than his stats say. I got a feeling, people are going to look at him as a guard, but he's playing tackle at Mizzou, and I wouldn't be mad to see him at guard. I think you have yourself a stud, very fluid athlete with good feet. But when you see guys that are that fluid as athletes with those really good feet, it's hard to like, why would you want to bottle that up and put him on the interior of your O line? That's hard to come by. Athletes this big with such good feet and great lateral agility like that. You want that guy to be on an island out there blocking for you on the edge. And so, but again, you just never know what team needs that he's going to end up wherever he goes. It's going to be different team needs. And so if they got more of a guard need, I think he will excel there. He's a nasty finisher, man. He almost abuses people out there. I mean, he's got very, very big and heavy hands. I mean, extremely heavy. I mean, I think no matter what role he ends up playing, he's going to excel at it. He is going to be one of the steals of the draft in the next year or two. I guarantee you that. This dude is just a mauler. And he does it from the outside as a tackle. When I tell you he finishes, he's on people, and it's just like, dude, get off me, man. You too damn big to be laying on people like that. It's crazy. Just watch him on film. I'm telling you, he's another steal of the draft. True sleeper right here. Minister Charles says he is the truth. If you ain't watched them, you better go watch them. Better go watch Mimbu.
Hey, you know what was impressive to me is
before you say that, let me mention something to FFG, and not FFG, but Crimson and Laz. That's another thing I have to point out. I remember Aldo asking, he was going down to the Senior Bowl, and he had people. I don't know if he was going or he was sending Danny down that year. But either way, he was asking, all the, the guests and co-hosts on the show, like, hey, who do you want me to take a look at down there? And the first guy out of my mouth, it was Tyreek Stevenson. I think the second guy out of my mouth was what's the little receiver that got hurt in Houston? What's his name? Little guy, the little receiver. Just got hurt this year. I forget his name right now. Damn. But that's
deep threat.
Yeah, the little deep threat, little skinny guy, man. He just tears it up, though. Anyway, I got him, those two guys, and we ended up drafting Stevenson. So, my track record pretty good. Tank Dell, thank you, man. Thank you for that, Aunt Moss. Tank Dell. He was like, who do you want me to watch down there? And those are the first two names out of my mouth. Was Tyreek Stevenson and Tank Dell. All right, let me look at we got here. Let me see. Let me see if I covered everything except for one, I think. I'm saving him. I'm saving him, y'all. I'm saving him. I'm saving him because I don't know that you guys know who this guy is. And I care that you don't know. Why? It's because I'm setting this up the right way. There's edge rusher. We have an edge rusher need, right? And so we know the type now. We are not the type is not ambiguous no more. We know what we're looking for. And I hear name after name. And you know what? Most podcasters and analysts are guilty of playing follow the leader. They ain't really doing no research. They just getting into the, who's ever saying what about whoever. That's what I'm gonna be talking about on the next show. Because it gets the most clicks. People ain't really doing homework. I'm gonna tell you something. Ashton Gilotti, 6'3", 275-pound senior. I'm telling y'all this right now, and I'm gonna give you guys a guarantee when I tell you this. This guy would be, if not, he'd be in the top 3 players that you've seen this entire offseason. If you haven't seen Ashton Gilotti, oh my God, this dude is going to be a force of nature. Yeah, I've watched game after game, full games, and I ain't seen a team be able to stop him yet without a double team. And they barely do it there. 6'3", 275-pound senior, motor for days. Straight motor. Stout in the run defense. I mean, when I say stout, I mean stout. He puts his foot down. Has a lot of upside in the pass rush. And so he's going to get drafted as an edge rusher. But I'm telling you guys right now, position versatility is the key when it comes to Ashton Gilotti. This guy can play on the inside just as well as he can play on the outside. Literally. We think Shamar Stewart can play on the inside as well as he can play on the outside. No, I know Ashton Galoti can. I know he can. He is going to be a force of nature. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. And I guarantee you this. He's going to be one of the better films that you've seen the entire offseason. You're going to be like, holy shit, how did I not know about this cat? That's how sure I am about this cat's film. I've been watching him for 2 years. 2 years. I thought he was coming out last year. And I had to X him off. When we did the Ed show last year, when Chris was still here with us, he'd have been at the top of the list then. And he's definitely at the top of the list for me right now. I want this dude in Chicago. That's how much of a force of nature I think he is. He is perfect for what Dennis Allen wants to do. I mean perfect. Fast, aggressive, physical, versatile. Plays football the way you want to see play football. I mean, he plays with a chip on his shoulder. And he's got the motor that goes along with it. I'm telling you, this cat is super, duper impressive. Man, let me get him off the screen and get to some of these comments. I just get excited talking about that cat, man. I just love it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. This is the time of the season to get hyped.
Osama bin Johnson, I have no idea. All you had to do is hit a mock draft right quick on your phone. I have no idea, but I know one thing. It don't matter where a guy goes in the draft to me. I can tell you right now, if he goes to the right team, like this one, like if he comes to Chicago, he will be an immediate impact on this field. He's a day one starter. You're going to get 3-tech work out of him, and you're going to get edge work out of him. Wait till you guys see that guy on film. Yep, that's right, Minister Charles. I'm telling you, man, this right here, he is a terror, bro. He's a straight terror. I've watched this cat tape for the last 2 years. Oh my God. It's probably one of him. I watched a lot of Jervon Dexter, a lot of Keanu Benton, a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs over the last few years, and a lot of this guy, Ashton Galoti. Let me see. Tape I keep going back to. Antoine Powell Riley, I keep going back to his tape a lot. But yeah, I just keep turning on his tape. I just can't get enough of it. And Brashard Smith from SMU, just straight dog. Yep. Then it sounded like some huge interior lineman. I don't think he's too short for him. I don't. Because he's gonna get interior work out of him. Cam Jordan, he's about like Cam Jordan's size. Well, a little bit or a little heavier. Love. I got a short out, Derek Guy, about Mike Green from Marshall. We've been on him for a long time. I think I'm like that I know of. I'm like the first person that really pointed him out in the Bears podcast world that pointed him out. I think we was the first ones out on the board with that. But all right, that's what we got tonight, FFG, man. I'm gonna shut up and let you do a little bit of talking, not too much because we got to get out of here. But let you do a little talking about what you saw tonight.
Well, there's a lot of prospects. MC factors like should we get a quarterback in the later rounds? I think they're just going to try to develop the ones that we have on the staff right now, because you have a third-year guy, you have a second-year guy, and basically a rookie that didn't play last year, which is going to be in his second year. So I think they're going to try to coach them up, and I think that is where JT Barrett comes in to the situation where he's going to be able to get the best out of these guys to run the right system for them all, because they all have the right traits going forward. So I don't think that's going to be an option for the Bears to keep drafting quarterbacks. Now, what I do love about this draft is it's loaded with linemen, interior, on offense and defensive line. And we may get lucky with a tackle on offensive line, but really the interior is where we want to focus in on. And if we get lucky with the offensive tackle, great. But when we can build up that interior to strengthen up, to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage and what the offensive defensive line coaches that we're hiring, I think that is where we're going to see a major change for the Bears going forward. I think that is really where we're going to be able to get back to being nasty, to dominate, and to crush teams and wear them down with our running game, which I believe we're going to draft a running back. I wholeheartedly believe that. And I think it's going to be a bruising back that can get the tough yards, and then when he gets in space, off to the races. Whether he gets caught or not, that's up to how they play defense. But I really think that it's going to be the line play and the prospects that we pick up and a safety. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to pick up a wide receiver in free agency. But I think they're going to go line heavy for the first time in a while. And you're going to see a transformation by the Bears in the front office to say, hey, look, we're trying to win now. I think that's what Ben Johnson came in and said, look, you do this for me, I'm going to do this for you. And we're going to go out there and attack folks. Just like Dennis Allen said, do this for me, I'm going to do this for you. We're going to go attack folks. And I think that's where the Bears are going to change, where the mindset is really going to be focused on attacking the other team instead of us sitting back and wait to determine what they're doing and then try to stop it.
Well, let me answer Derek Guy's question. He said, instead of the Bears using a draft pick on a safety, do you think Tyreek Stevenson could play safety? I think Tyreek is too good at corner. I think if they want to move him, it'd probably be Terrell Smith. Move him around. I think Tyreek can play safety and play it well, but I think, under the circumstances, I wouldn't move Tyreek. I think Tyreek excels as a man corner anyway. He just came into a system where he had to learn how to play more zone coverage. That's what Miami corners do. Play a lot of man-to-man, and they're really good at it. You know what I mean? But I think, whatever they do with Tyreek Stevenson, I'll be cool with. And that means if they decide to move him, we're going to end up in the draft drafting another corner, which I'll be fine with. But I think Terrell Smith is a guy that maybe, you want to see him on the field a little bit more. And, that's what I think about that situation. Laz is talking about Ashton Jaloti. At first, I thought you were saying Ashton Jaloti was like the 98th edge rusher in the class. And I'm just like, I was going to show you a list of all the players that made the Hall of Fame that wasn't even drafted. You know what I mean? And this just to show you that, some people just don't know what the fuck they're talking about, to be honest with you. And it's just, you can't judge football players based off what somebody else tells you that they are. And so one of the things I specialize at over here at the Nomad Network is really looking at the stuff for myself and trusting my own eyes, because typically I'm going to see stuff, as a football player that your average guy sitting in a studio that's giving tape don't know what the fuck to be looking at. I know the nuances to the game. And so that gives me an advantage when it comes to this kind of stuff. And this is why I feel good about doing these shows like this and telling you guys what I think these guys are. And I'm not trying to be cocky about any of it. I'm just telling you the God's honest truth. I'm built to be able to talk about this. I've been doing it my whole life. If I wasn't in it, I was a part of it some kind of way. And I'm just fortunate as shit and thankful as hell that I got you guys as a community to be able to receive me and what we do over here at this network. Because I do feel blessed about it, man, because this is something I'm good at in this life, man. You only be good at so many things in this life, but this football shit, I got this shit. I got this shit in spades. I'm just telling you that straight up. And so, I don't care what nobody says about not one of these players. I trust my eyes. I don't listen to Mel Kiper, his buddy on TV, or anybody else, any podcaster. I don't give a shit what they say. Great for them. I trust my eyes and my own evaluation. And 9 times out of 10, I'm dead ass. And that's the truth. And so, that being said, man, I'm going to give some pleasantries before we get ready to get out of here because I didn't plan for this to be this long of a show, but it's great being here with you guys. We have like 21 players to put out there. And please, you guys, check those players out for me. If you do nothing else but see the highlights, I'll be grateful that you did that. And just come back and give us a comment in the comment section about any one of those players you want to talk about. Let us know what you was thinking. Let us know what you was thinking. Did it what I said sound like it was on point? or not. Tell me if you thought I was wrong. I'm cool with it. I'll take it right on the chin, y'all. But let us know what you think about it. And if you haven't subbed to the channel and you want to get into the show and want to comment about some of these players and during the live show, just hit the sub button and come on in and chat with us. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. We just ask. We don't tell you to do it. We just ask. With that being said, let me pass it on to FFG for some pleasantries before we get out of here.
Oh, okay. Derek, I'm with you there. What I think is going to happen is Al Harris is going to determine who the best cat is playing opposite Jalen. So we finna find out who really can play and play the style they want to play going forward. And it's going to be fun to watch that between Stevenson and Terrell Smith going out at the other corner position, because I don't know if what kind of hybrid they're going to run, if he's going to play dime or whatever the case may be, or whoever is left out is going to play dime. But we've had a lot of people in this chat. I mean, we got OGs left and right, Minister Charles, their guy's been really lively, AC Adam, Laz, Aunt Ma, Squalls, I'm loving to see you back in the chat. Crimson bowed out a little bit early.
Crimson, Booker.
Yeah, King Booker World was in there. Jay Capone the Don was with us.
Derek Guy.
Oh yeah, go blue, So we had so many people up in the chat today. Patty even chimed in for a little while, so MC Fact, just a bunch of people that are really proud to be Bears fans and want to give their opinion and actually show homage to what we do here on the Nomad Network. And that, to me, gives me a lot of goosebumps, because I'm happy to be a part of it. And I'm always going to be in the chat supporting everybody's opinion and everybody's way of thinking when it comes to the Bears, because we ain't all going to agree. Not never. But we can come together and express our opinion. And that's what's great about this opportunity. So thank you, Nomad. And thank Chris. God bless. Up there in heaven. You know what I'm saying? And Keds and, Trips. And everybody else, Nick, who's all involved, So thank you guys. Appreciate it so much.
Hey, you're more than welcome over here, bro. Like I tell you all the time, man, we just do this for the love, man. It's just for the love. We're lucky. We're lucky this way, man. And I'm talking about not only us at the network giving you these shows, but we're lucky to have y'all to receive the shows. And so we couldn't be doing it without you guys. Y'all could have been anywhere doing whatever, but you chose to be here with us and checking out these football players and getting a little bit more insight into these guys as we get ready to go into this draft and kind of have an idea of who they are, what they're capable of. And that's one of the things I specialize in, and happy to give you guys that content, man. And I love doing it and can't wait for the next show. And as soon as this show is over, I'm building up the next one so you guys know how this process works. And so, we're gonna have a bunch more, because I got a boatload of guys for you guys to check out. I mean, a boatload. A lot of these guys you haven't heard about. And so just look forward to, privately doing your own homework on these guys and seeing if what we say matches up with what you see with your own eyes. And so that part of it I love doing. And so again, man, love you guys. Thank you guys for being here, man. It was a ball. I'm thinking about maybe doing a live broadcast of the Senior Bowl, but I can't promise you because my girlfriend may or may not be off on this weekend. If she's not, I'm probably going to do a live show. If she's working tomorrow, I'm probably going to do a live show and just broadcast the Senior Bowl. We'll watch all those guys together. If y'all want to come in here and kick it with us, man, you're more than welcome to get in here and do that. And so I just want to say thank you one more time. Before we get out of here, I got to leave you with these famous words. If you can think it, and by the way, shout out to those people again in Philadelphia, man, affected by that plane crash in that residential area, man. That must be like probably thought the world was coming to an end. Like somebody was bombing on, the United States or something. That had to be scary. But shout out to everybody in Philly for what they're going through right there. That was pretty crazy, man. But again, I'm going to leave you guys with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, people, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, we are